Timmy James Show. The Timmy James Show. The Timmy James Show. Yeah. 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 Timmy James Show. Yeah. Don't fuck with me. The Timmy James Show. The show the crazy thing. The crazy thing. People messing up. I don't give a fuck. I'm Timmy James. I don't give a fuck if I mention any names. I'm Timmy James. I don't give a fuck about what you say. I'm Timmy James. I don't give a rat's ass. I don't give a damn. I'm Timmy James. 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 Hello and welcome to the Timmy James Show, and yes, that was me singing live along with the track. Yes, you're probably thinking, Tim, it doesn't sound delayed. Well, that's because I'm recording on my iPad, because they've finally, the good folks at Spreaker who bring you this podcast, they have basically, like on the Android version of the app, you could basically add songs from like other sources and all that, like Google Drive in particular. They've now added that feature onto the iOS devices. So basically like your iPods, iPads and all that. iPhones, anything really, iWatches. Well, I don't know if they got it on the Apple Watch, but yeah. Yeah. And the good thing about recording on the iPad is you got vocal monitoring, so I could basically hear my voice through the headphones, which is good. Because like I'd rather do that than record myself and not hear my own voice through the headphones. Because it's not a fun idea. It's not a fun process, especially when you got noise cancelling headphones and you can't hear yourself speak. So yeah, yeah, I basically wanted to do this podcast, like this episode, basically to give everyone an update on what's going on with me. I just recently, and when I mean recently, I mean yesterday. All my troubles seem so far away. Sorry. Yeah, I just love that song. Yeah, yesterday I had my wisdom tooth taken out. I had this one in the back that had been annoying me for a few years, and I finally got it taken out yesterday. And it ain't fun, because you constantly got to flush your mouth out with salt water, and you've got to keep taking pain medication because you're constantly in a lot of pain, and like you're probably thinking, why does your voice sound a bit muffled? It's because of my tooth, because my wisdom tooth's not there anymore, so it's made me sound a bit like a hillbilly, like whistling through my teeth almost. Yeah. It's not a fun feeling. But anyway, I've been keeping up with the Kardashians. No, not the Kardashians. Just thought I'd chuck that in there for a funny little joke. Okay. So basically, yesterday when I had my tooth taken out, my wisdom tooth, they were very nice at the dentist, which I'm happy about, because like what I require and like what I like to have around me, like in any operating situation, like when people are operating on you, like surgically, or if you're just talking to someone, like if I'm talking to someone and if I know I've got to like sit down and have a conversation with them, or they've got to look at my health or whatever, I only ask one thing of these people, is to have a sense of humour, because when I talk to people, like I'm not like, oh hi, how's it going, I'm Tim. Like yes, I do that, but like I make jokes up on the spot, really funny jokes, especially ones about dentists and that I've completely forgotten, which is why I should write shit down, but I can't write. And I haven't necessarily got anything like a computer to type on yet. Hopefully getting a laptop, but yeah. It was interesting yesterday because I was talking to, because I have 3 people working trying to get the tooth out. And it's really, really, really fucking big. I'll put a picture, I'll post it on my, I'll put it on my website. Yeah, I'll put the picture on my website, but, anyway, it's just really interesting tooth, because, like, every time I went in there, I had all these dentists look at it and go, oh, this is a very interesting tooth. And I thought it was just like a normal wisdom tooth, but it wasn't. They pulled this little bugger out. Oh my god. It was so fucking big. Like, it was so big. Should have a little sound effect in there, like with a crowd going, how big was it? It was so big. Jabba the Hutt looked at it, went, damn. No, yeah, it was just really big. It was like bigger than a normal tooth. It looked like a pair of teeth stuck together. That's what it looked like. Yeah, I'm in a bit of pain at the moment, so I've been basically hooked up on pain medication, which is not as fun as it sounds, because everyone knows my drug of choice is weed, or alcohol for that matter. Like, I'm not one to get into the pills, like, just because of, not only have I seen what it does to people, it's just an unhealthy habit. Like smoking cigarettes, for example, that's an unhealthy habit, but I do it. Yeah, I do it, and I'm not proud of it, but like I've got to do something to sort of help me with all the stress that's in my head, because I've got a lot going on. Like, I got my mum who's she's currently laid up in bed at the moment. She can't move from there. She's bedridden. And she has this... I've spoke about this before, but I'll talk about it again. She has this illness called MSA, which stands for multi-system atrophy. It's basically like it's in like the motor neuron disease family. And the worst part about it is it's not just one disease it's killing her. And that's a part of this whole multi-system atrophy thing. Parkinson's disease is like, it comes with it like a package deal. And you're probably thinking, why are you trying to make a joke out of this, Tim? Well, I'm not. I'm not trying to make a joke out of it. I don't like it one bit. Because I hate seeing the roles reversed, because for a long time she was a mother and she was taking care of me. Now I've got to take care of her. Not saying I don't like that, I'm saying I love it. Like, it's actually good because I get to... Not only do I get to spend heaps of time with her, I just get to sit there and talk to her about things. Like about how her day's going and all that. But yeah, that's just one of the many stressful situations I've got going on. Other than the fact, like I just said, I just had my wisdom tooth taken out. And I was supposed to be going out tonight, but because I had the operation yesterday, it would have been out of the question for me to come today, but me to go out tonight because I've been in a lot of pain. And when I'm in pain, look out. Seriously, look out. It's like I unload all my frustrations on everybody, which is what I've been doing lately. Oh, there's my letter. The good thing, I just recently brought this microphone stand sort of clamp sort of thing that you clamp onto a desk. It's like one of those long arm ones, sort of like the most podcasters use for like a home studio or something. And that's what I'm using now. And the good thing about it is I can roll a smoke, light a smoke, and yeah, because like in the past with the podcast, I've had to actually hold the microphone, and I don't like doing it. And with this microphone that I got, it came with a little stand, and like I didn't really like using that, but I like this because you can clamp it on and like you can basically just sit in front of it. Like, make sure you got headphones in, because otherwise you get terrible feedback. Like yeah. But yeah, it's like a proper studio setup. More like a makeshift studio, but I'm happy with it. Alright. Let's just talk about something else. Let's talk about something exciting, okay? The Flash, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, and Arrow. Now, people listening to this podcast for the first time or haven't heard me talk about this subject, I am a huge fan of those 4 shows. because, like, I'm a DC Comics fan, and I just love superheroes, and, like, these shows, I don't love them for the action, I love them for the comedy, mainly, because the writers that they got on this show are fucking geniuses, because they just chuck in little bits there, and, like, most of the comedy stuff, it's like, most of it's, like, making fun of, like, referencing pop culture and all that. Like, there's Star Wars references, there's all these different references. There's even references to Batman, and he's not even in this universe yet, I don't think. Like, he's mentioned, but, like, not by name. Like, they drop little Easter eggs, but, like, when they were last season, they were talking about Savitar, which is future Barry Allen, on the Flash. Like, yeah, Barry Allen is the Flash. So that's people who don't know. So they have future Barry Allen, future Flash. His name is Savitar, and Cisco, who is better known as Vibe, he what was I going to say? Yeah, he was talking about Savitar, and he didn't call Savitar by his name. He called him Two-Face because, like, on one side of his face it's like all scarred and burnt and shit, and on the other side it's just normal. So yeah, he called him Two-Face, and I thought that was very clever because, number one, it's a funny joke, and number two, it's a Batman reference. And they made a lot of comic book references in season 4, episode 1, which just aired a couple of days ago, and I'm going to spoil it for you. So basically, I can't remember. Oh, now I can. So at the end of last season, Barry had fought Savitar and all that, and, like, he created... Alright. Long story short, Barry goes into the Speed Force prison, and I don't really want to explain it because it's just racking my head around. Like, racking my brain around, it's just, yeah, I don't particularly want to explain. So, Barry went into the Speed Force prison because of something he did, like he changed the timeline and all that. Like, went back in time, saved his mother from being murdered, and created this timeline called Flashpoint, where both of his parents were alive. But he never lived with Joe and Iris. He lived with his parents. So it was a very different sort of universe. And then he had to go back and change it, or otherwise that reality would be stuck forever and he'd get new memories. So Reverse Flash, which is the guy who killed Barry's mother, he said, he's like, you're going to be begging me to kill her again because of, like, he's losing his memories and all that. So basically they go back in time and he kills Barry's mother again. But when Barry got back to the normal time, it wasn't the normal time. It was still, wasn't Flashpoint, but it was like post-Flashpoint, because everything had still changed. Like, Cisco's brother was killed. But long story short, the Flash fucked up when he made Flashpoint. Like when he created Flashpoint. So, and the Speed Force gods weren't really happy about that. And that's why he went into Speed Force prison. Now, in Season 4, you see what everyone's doing without Barry. So basically, you got to keep Flash. You keep Flash as main Flash. And you got Vibe helping him. And like they've actually, what I like about this season is they've made it more comedy and less dark stuff, because there was a lot of dark stuff in Season 3. But for Season 4, oh my god, jokes everywhere. Like there's this bit like towards the end of the episode, like in the second act, no, not second act, second last scene. Caitlin / Killer Frost. When we see her in Season 4, she's working in a bar. Because last season she turned into Killer Frost and she went all rogue and started going absolute at shit crazy. So she got out of all the Killer Frost stuff, and she's like, don't really want to do that anymore. She's like, I don't want to be Killer Frost, I don't want to be Caitlin, I just want to try and find out what I can be. And it turns out she wants to be Caitlin again. So she was being Caitlin again, but she's working behind this bar. Cisco comes to the bar, asks her to rejoin Team Flash. She does. Bada bing. There we go. Now, when she's going back to the bar to quit her job, and to go back to Team Flash full time, the guy who she's talking to about quitting, he's like the assistant manager of the bar or whatever. And he's like, oh, so-and-so, I can't remember the name of the boss, but yeah, he's like, so-and-so is not going to like this. And she's like, oh, we'll deal with it. And then he grabbed her. And she turned around and said this. And now, this would have made comic book fans around the world just lose their fucking shit. Because the references she used, it wasn't a DC reference, it was a Marvel reference. Like this reference that she used, it was the Hulk references. Like, well, they used 2 Marvel references in this episode. There was one point in the episode where Cisco, aka Vibe, says Excelsior, which is Stan Lee's catchphrase. Stan Lee, for those of you who don't know, and why wouldn't you, he's a fucking genius. He's the guy who created, like, the Avengers and Spider-Man and all that, and yeah, he's a big deal in the comic book world. And his catchphrase is Excelsior. Like he says, like, Excelsior! Hello, spider friend! Yeah, that's my Stan Lee for you. Yeah, so Cisco says Excelsior, and when they're... Now, back to the whole Caitlin thing, when she made the Marvel reference, like, she got grabbed by the assistant manager, and she's like, don't make me frosty. She turns into Killer Frost. You would like me when I'm frosty. For those of you who don't know, and why wouldn't you not know? It's a very famous tagline / catchphrase from The Incredible Hulk. or actually Bruce Banner, but like the Incredible Hulk comics. And basically what he says is, "Oh, made me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry." And yeah, so that's basically what they did on The Flash. They just made it a lot more funnier. I would talk about how Barry got out of Speed Force and all that, but I'm just very tired. I've got a toothache from a tooth that's not even there anymore. Yeah. Let's talk about... I don't remember much from a Supergirl episode, but Supergirl episode was pretty cool, actually. Like, no, I won't talk about Supergirl because I gotta go back and watch the episode again. And hold on. Yeah, I gotta go back and watch the episode again so I can do a proper review about it, but it was good. I just don't remember much of it because I was somewhat high. But yeah, Legends of Tomorrow was pretty good. They were very funny. Like, there was a lot of funny moments. Basically, like, my favourite character from that show is Heatwave, aka Mick Rory. Yeah, his name's Mick Rory. That's his actual name, but yeah. They call him Heatwave because he has his gun and it's like a flamethrower thing, basically. His old partner in crime, because he used to be like a super villain, sort of. His partner in crime was Captain Cold. Now, in Legends of Tomorrow, they killed off Captain Cold, but he still comes back occasionally because of the magic of time travel. And basically, Captain Cold and Heatwave, now they did this very well. Captain Cold and Heatwave are played by Wentworth Miller and Dominic Perso, I think that's what his name is. And they're the guys from Prison Break. Now, I've seen a handful of episodes from Prison Break, but I don't really watch it. Please don't judge me. I will watch it eventually because I know Catherine Flood. Yes, I mentioned your name. I know you want me to watch Prison Break. I haven't watched it yet, but I will watch it. Please know I'm still thinking about watching it. Along with all the other shows you've recommended me, like the Lemony Snicket series of unfortunate events, the Netflix series, all the other things. I've watched Stranger Things. Alright, just steer onto another subject. I've watched season 1 of Stranger Things, and oh my god, I now know why. I'm now not confused why there was so much press and so much hype and like good news about the show. It's a fucking awesome show. Like, it's set in the 80s. And they've got it down really well. And they somehow brought Winona Ryder back. Like, no, she wasn't dead, but they brought her basically plucked her out of obscurity because she hasn't been acting for a long time, and now she's back in Stranger Things. And Stranger Things, like, I won't really get into explaining it because, like, you can just go watch it on Netflix and find out for yourself because it's hard to explain. But yeah, Stranger Things, I like it because not only is it like is it basically like every 80s movie ever made. It's just a fun little show. And season 2's coming out very soon, and I'm very excited about that. I've also been playing the Stranger Things game on my iPad. And that's cool because there's like a lot of references to like 80s movies and stuff, and oh my god. Like there's even references to Transformers in the game and in the show. And yeah, it's an interesting show. You should check it out on Netflix, Stranger Things. But yeah, what's one last thing I want to talk about? Alright. I wanted to talk about one last thing, but I forgot. Oh yeah, you guys are probably wondering, Tim, why is it a solo podcast? Why isn't another guy with you? Why isn't Dave with you? Like, where's Dave? Well, I hate to use someone else's material, but I can't do it with the toothache. Dave's not here. Yeah, I did it. Yeah, so there's the answer. Dave's not here. He's in Tumbarumba. But I will get him back here in Wodonga again, and we will record another podcast. Because that was interesting and amazing. Because like, I don't know if I spoke about this on the last episode. I might have. I'll have to go back and check it, but I'm not going to do that now because I'm recording. So basically, Dave and I, we met at TAFE. And TAFE is basically like, stands for tertiary and further education. So it's basically like if you want to do like a course or anything, you can do it at TAFE because like it's cheaper and it's not like a proper university. There's like more kids around because there's like, they often take high school kids in for courses and stuff like that, and that's how I got into TAFE. Because I left school in year 10, and I went to TAFE, and I loved it. But just the last 2 years, TAFE wasn't that good for me. It wasn't really the teachers necessarily, it was just my headspace, because I'd turned 18 and I was just going through some emotional changes. My mum was getting worse. I just recently got my unit out the back of my parents' house. And there was a lot of transitioning with that because I wasn't used to living in a place by myself, and now I'm used to it because it's 3 years later, and I like it because I got privacy to basically do whatever the fuck I want. Yeah. So back with Dave Dave thing. We met at TAFE, and basically I was one of the first, if not the first one to befriend him at TAFE, because like I could see this guy. He's like we did this thing in a classroom where we were. Like, where we all had to say something about ourselves and say our names. And then he said his name. He's like, my name's David Stamp. And he said this one thing that I'll never forget. He's like, I'm David Stamp and I'm the king of comedy. And when I heard that, I'm like, yeah, boy. Yeah, cunt, I'm gonna give you a run for your money. So basically, we've been best friends ever since. Because like, especially when we're doing comedy, like we did, like a few years ago, we did a sketch show at Hot House Theatre. It was basically like an Aussie version of, I don't know, Saturday Night Live or something. Just like a sketch show, and we made fun of everything from Twilight to Home and Away to America's Next Top Model, Star Wars, South Park. Basically, almost anything, and there was a lot more in the script, like in the planning of everything. Like we were gonna, I think there was a Kardashian sketch that we were gonna do, but that never got done. But there was this one sketch that I'm proud of because it's something that Dave and I worked on together. We planned it. It was basically, I come out on the stage to introduce the next sketch, and Dave's supposed to be on the stage with me, but he's not there, and I'm like, alright, I hope you enjoyed that sketch. Now, the next one, wait, where's the other guy? And then Dave comes out. Howdy, boys! He's wearing this pink cowboy hat. He comes out. I'm like, wait, when are you, gay? Ever since I saw Clint Eastwood in that film. I can't remember the rest of the sketch, but, yeah, it was amazing because, like, I'd never done anything like that before. Like, yes, I've acted in, like, sketches and stuff, but I'd never actually been in control of the creative process. It was interesting because, like, I eventually want to do that, like, on TV. And I reckon if Dave and I put our heads together, it would hurt. No, if Dave and I put our heads together, eventually we'll probably come up with like a sketch show or show about our lives. But yeah, I'm just happy that I was able to have him on the podcast. And yes, I'm going to have other guests eventually. I've just got to get my shit sorted out. You guys, like, if there's anyone listening thinking, oh, I want to be on the podcast, well, you can. You can go to my website, timmyjamesofficial.com. You can find all my contact details there. Just, there's even a place on the site where you can leave me a message and I'll get back to you. Like a little message board sort of thing. So basically, like, if you want to get on the podcast, And like, for example, if you're like in America or overseas, or you can't get here to Wodonga, don't worry, because we can do the podcast via Skype. I have the software and all that to do it, so we can do the podcast that way. Like, even though it sounds like a lazy idea to do it, but heaps of people are doing it. But yeah, or if you just want to leave a comment about the episode, or like, you can do that on YouTube, because this episode's also on YouTube. You can just leave a comment, like, because I'd love to hear your feedback. And as I say feedback, it reminds me of something else I'm supposed to talk about. Even though it's past the due date for me to still do this, but I'll do it anyway, just so people know I'm not fooling around. Now, on my website, if you go to, like, up the top, you got all the different pages there. If you click on the one that says Timmy James Show, you'll see this little blue button that says Audience Survey. Click that button, it'll take you to a survey, and it'll ask you your age and everything, and like what stuff you're into and all that. And I didn't create it. The good people at Podtrack created it. So basically, by you doing this survey, you're giving me an idea on my demographic. So I know like what age group of people listen to my podcast. And if I can guess, it might be like people my age, like 21, 22. If not younger, if not older, I don't really know. But yeah, if you ever want to leave a comment about the podcast, or just want to say hello, you're welcome to do that on the website. I'm gonna go. This has been another glorious episode of the Timmy James Show. I'm Timmy James. I don't give a fuck, and bye bye. The Timmy James Show. The Timmy James Show. The Timmy James Show. Yeah. 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 Come on. Don't fuck with me. Yeah. The Timmy James Show. You hear what the crazy I don't give a fuck. I'm Timmy James. I don't give a fuck. If I mention any names, I'm Timmy James. I don't give a fuck about what you say. I'm Timmy James. I don't give a rat's ass. I don't give a damn. I'm Timmy James. 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 Timmy James. Yeah,